Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-October 2023 reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini. Welcome, fellow Geminis. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that we receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go ahead and get into it. In column number 1, we're going to talk about what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or a month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for the remainder of October. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We'll also do 3 yes or no questions, crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But again, Gemini, let's go ahead and get into it. In column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close, we have a summary affirmation card of core. This is such a cool card. If you look at this person's core, look at this person's heart, it's like the most fiery, vibrant thing of this card. So these last few weeks, this is all about what was doing good doing what feels good at your core, doing what feels good in your heart, Gemini. So I love this so much. Life is so much better when it aligns with our core, when it aligns with our heart. So I like this kind of summary for the last few weeks for you. But let's see what messages we've got going on here. So first up, we have the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is a card of self-defense. It's feeling like we have to protect ourselves against competition. So I feel like there could have been a situation recently where it's like, I don't know that you were defending yourself, but I see you explaining, Gemini. I see you explaining the situation, why you did something, where you went. But it's not necessarily like a bad thing. Again, I just see you explaining something to somebody. Perhaps this is something that you're really passionate about, given the core card there. The next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. Anytime we have the Ace card, it's a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Cups, this is new baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So new love in the air. This could be a new baby, grandbaby, pet, friendship, personal connection, lover, you name it. But wonderful, wonderful new relationship here, Gemini. So wonderful that we have to have 2 cards to talk about it even. So we have our 2 of Cups, which is very romantic love, partnership, proposal, marriage. Notice how closely that meaning aligns with the Ace of Cups. So again, what an amazing relationship that was developed these last few weeks. Something that's really feeding the core, right? Okay, taking a look at our clarifiers, first up we have the Death card. I always like to throw out there, for those that don't know, the Death card does not mean death, but it does mean like transformation. It's moving on from the old, it's moving into the new. With the Death card, it's endings, it's big changes. Again, it's that rebirth, that transformation type feeling. And again, I feel like this thing that we were so passionately explaining is part of our transformation, part of our change. Some of you might have like did a new therapy or met somebody new, or again, some sort of new relationship. We got connected in some sort of new way, and it has a significant impact on your transformation. The next card that we have is the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is a card of working hard, putting in the hard work, reaping the benefits. So I feel like you've worked for this relationship in some way, somehow. So now we're reaping the benefits of it. So love to see that. There's also a nice sense of enjoyment that comes with 8 of Pentacles. Makes sense with that bright heart on the core card. And at the bottom here, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is interesting. You just like knew to go all in on this. Whatever it is, very much so trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. Again, I just feel you going all in, but your heart, your gut, your core said go for it. So there was no real doubt here, Gemini. Lovely, lovely last few weeks. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general what's coming for the remainder of October. We have the card repetition. So repetition is about building this habit or keeping something continuing. That's where I'm going to leave that. You're keeping something going here this month, Gemini, with that repetition card. But let's see what it is. I'm sure it has to do with this lovely relationship here. So first up, we have the Lovers card. So continuation of these insanely strong love cards we just talked about. Partnership, deep love, strength together. Again, this could be baby, animal, new friend, new psychiatrist, anything of those sorts, new t-ball buddy. But anyways, this is quite the relationship. So continuing this relationship forward. Somehow this is connecting into healing here. And this isn't just like, oh, I scraped my finger and it healed. I mean, this is deep. This seems quite deep. This love is quite deep. This relationship is quite meaningful. This healing goes to a level of depth that maybe you haven't experienced, Gemini. So all I can say to that is wow, with that Three of Swords, that healing. And interestingly enough, saying that wasn't enough, we had to throw the World card in here too. The World card's the last card in the Major Arcana. It's completion, it's lessons learned, it's things coming full circle. And that's just it. It's like, it's not like we did healing. The healing is done and over here, Gemini. So that's pretty freaking amazing. Let's take a look here. First up for clarifiers, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a dark, gloomy card. You see the sky is dark here. The person's laying down flat. They have all of these swords stuck into them. There was a low place. I mean, there was things that needed to have healing. Maybe there was a really terrible past relationship. Maybe there was baggage that was being held on to. This new relationship and this healing, though, is correcting this. So acknowledgement of where we came, but surely the clouds have cleared on this other side. The next card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card, this is voluntary changes. So this is you taking the action. This was something you did that sent all of this into motion for you. So this is you taking the action. Continue to trust your intuition. We talked about that earlier. But your intuition got this going in. It sure has you on the right path. At the bottom, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, this is again you driving the ship here, Gemini. So give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself some credit. Obviously, this relationship really helped move things forward, but you got this going. So I feel like this is saying to give you credit. Okay, let's take a look at our next column now, which is anything related to money. So quick money message to start out with. Love is the intention behind all of my transactions. Nice money affirmation there for you. So in this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you... Oh, money. Sorry. We're going to talk about money. So job, career, finances, businesses you run, anything associated with money. Sorry, Gemini. Okay, first up we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, when I see this card, it just like screams freedom. So I feel like you're going to get some freedom. You're going to get some flexibility in work here. Also, I feel like maybe you haven't been heard recently, Gemini, and you are heard, capital heard, at this point. So freedom, flexibility, they're looking to you, your opinions being very valued. So I like this shift coming for you. The next thing that's coming up, though, is the Nine of Wands. You do need to set some boundaries. Some of you are working way too many hours. So just be aware of that. Again, you're being seen, you're being heard. That doesn't mean you need to work 50 plus hours, okay? Even 40 plus. Our life is not our job, right? So there needs to be some boundaries here. Again, I feel like your work life is a little wacky-tacky right now here, Gemini. And at the bottom, we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card. This is oftentimes a card of healing and support, but I feel like there's victory coming for you here, Gemini. So this cup on this card isn't just a cup, it's a trophy. So I feel like, again, there's victory coming. But let's take a look at our clarifiers. All positive shifts here for you. Woohoo, we have all major arcana clarifiers here, Gemini. So big, clear messages when you see that happening. First up, we have the Hierophant. You're going to get to do things that you're good at. This is traditional. This is conventional. Again, you have this power, your voice is heard, and guess what? It's things you're wonderful at. So that's great news. The Hierophant's also a card of expectations, and I feel like, again, you weren't feeling seen, you weren't feeling heard. Things are going to shift, and this will exceed your expectations. The next card that we have is the Chariot. Somebody once described the Chariot to me as the vroom vroom card. It means there's action, there's change, it's about being on a journey. Setting boundaries does not hinder this journey, Gemini. Saying, I can't take that meeting at 5 a.m. does not prevent you from being on your successful career path, okay? The Chariot's also a new vehicle card, so maybe some of you are getting a new vehicle as well. And at the bottom here, we have the Fool card. The Fool card's the first card in the Major Arcana. Fresh hope, taking chances, new paths, adventures, beginnings. So love this Fool card energy for you. Again, we have the trophy here. I think potentially the victory, the trophy, the reward is this new opportunity. So nice money column, Gemini. Moving on to love, which I apparently wanted to skip to earlier. Love column now. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, for the heart is the gateway to the soul. In this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love. First up, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of being stressed, exhausted, having too many burdens. I don't know that you're exhausted or stressed by a relationship, but I think you're a little exhausted and a little stressed. Again, your work life is wacky, unbalanced, right? Work-life balance, we already touched on that. So it is carrying into love, that's carrying into home life, so be aware of that. Things like meditating, I found very, very much so help with Ten of Wands. But more than anything, you got to set those boundaries. Don't take that 5 a.m. meeting. Don't take that 6 p.m. meeting. Don't work more than 40 hours. So just acknowledging this kind of stress, this kind of burnout, and again, not having a lot of time or energy for home life things. The next card we have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, this can be like a conflict card or not a very good relationship, but I'm looking at these people with the backs turned, and again, I feel like we're just not giving the attention to the things at home that we need to be. So be cautious of that, Gemini. At the bottom here, we have the Six of Wands. I think this is a nice positive turn for you. This is good news. This is again coming through as a reward. So maybe like there's a new job coming and that will balance out. But I do think that there's success here. So again, no like relationships are ending, but things do feel a little out of whack right now. Looking at our clarifiers, first up we have the Knight of Swords. If you take a look at this card, the horse and rider are moving so quickly here, Gemini. This is a fast-paced change, and what a wonderful thing to have a fast-paced change on, right? We're stressed, we're exhausted, we're burnt out. That's moving away, going away very quickly, so I like to see that for you. The next card that we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card, this is like long-term, so I think things will be better long-term. This is also a planning card. Like you need to plan accordingly. You need to carve time out. You need to plan to not work 40 hours. This is also a respect thing. And remember, these people are feeling like they're not getting enough time, attention, love from you. So be respectful of that relationship. Be respectful of those needs, right? At the bottom, we have the Sun card. I think we had the Sun earlier too. In terms of the Sun card, it doesn't get any better than the Sun card. Best card in the deck, hands down. This is a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. It's interesting because this is like a victory, success, positive outcome, and so is the Sun card. So I feel like there maybe could be some sort of win coming in the relationship. In addition to things kind of balancing out and the relationship just continuing. It seems like the win is deeper. The success is deeper. Okay, now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the summary affirmation card of Surface. So with the Surface card, this is about having a bubble around you, Gemini. There's this surface that protects you. And with this bubble, we only take in the good things and it blocks everything else. So we need this surface. We need this bubble of protection. So be thinking about that bubble, only taking on good things in the remainder of this month. But let's see what messages we've got here. First up, we have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is always favorable for you. This is getting clarity on something. This potentially could be a decision as well that's being made. And yeah, I feel like there's clarity and there's a decision here. The next card that we have is the Death card. Again, Death card does not mean death, but it does indicate changes, endings, time to move on. It's transforming. So I feel like we're getting the information that we need, and then we need to make the change based on what we know, right? At the bottom here, we have the Four of Wands, another wonderful success card. You see how this looks like a finish line here. So this is celebration, success, finishing things. This is also a friends and family card here. But I feel like, again, you're getting information, you're making the decision on it, we're transforming because of it, and we get to also wrap this up this month. So like this cycle seems to go all the way through. Looking at clarifiers, first up we have the Knight of Cups. This is the opportunity, this is the thing that we're going to go after. The Knight of Cups is like the ideal, the perfect. So I like this. We can pursue kind of the ideal path, and I don't know that we knew we were going to be able to. So again, getting clarity of the opportunity and just how perfect it is. The next card we have is the Three of Pentacles. This is again kind of like a teamwork, family, friend card. So I am seeing family, friend come up for you quite a bit. As you move forward, as you go through this transformation though, the Three of Pentacles is also a skill, quality, craftsmanship. Put your best foot forward, Gemini. And last but not least, we have the Four of Cups. Looking at this fourth cup here, there does seem to be some sort of surprise gift that comes with getting across this finish line, getting through this transformation. So not a bad spread. Okay, now at this time I'm going to take a look. We're going to take a look at the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1, we have the Jack of Hearts. This is number 22 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Seven of Spades. This is number 25 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3, we have the 10 of Diamonds, the number 8 card. That's going to be a no. So yes, no, no for you, Gemini. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of October. When we did your reading earlier this month, I don't know if you remember, but 2 cards fell out. So you have Fire Opal and Aquamarine this month. A twofer. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Gemini, your healing note says, in your own time, in your own way, you will heal. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this video resonates with you. Subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your October.